Hey guys, it's Avenger, welcome back to the channel. And today we're taking a look at Lionheart's latest creation, which is funny because it's Lionheart Creations, the Wittman Tailwind. Now this includes the W8 and W10 aircraft models with these tiny little wings. Look at it, stubby. A little bit about the Wittman. So this aircraft originally, of course, is a two-seat home-built style aircraft. It's a high-wing cabin monoplane. Tail dragger config, steel tube fuselage with wooden wings with fabric coverings, high cruising speeds and economical to operate and maintain. It was originally developed in, I believe, actually no, I'm trying to say when it actually says here because I thought 1953, when it first really started to come to life, and they've been built since. Now 350 have been built since then, and we have multiple versions. The 9, the 8, the 10, there's the AJAP as well, a couple of other ones, but the W8 and the W10 are the most common. Now, to give you specs of a 1953 W8, which is running a Lycoming i320, this one has a 180 horsepower one, so the W8 in this version has a IO360 with 180 horsepower. It has less tech in the cockpit, less gizmos, and fuel-injected 4-cylinder engine using a Sobo's 152 sound pack, which is appropriate. The W10 has glass and avionics in there you'd want, including the G3X, which of course with the new update for that will have more options. Let's go with this. We're just looking to a glider trailer, so we'll just go outside here, take a look around whilst we do this. But it has an IO540 with 260 horsepower. Now there is a hidden autopilot in the W8, including it's basically shortcuts, but you can also use the invisible heading selector on the compass to use that, so that's quite a nice little add-on. Now, general kind of specs we're looking at for this aircraft in terms of how she can actually fly is nicely included in the manual by Mr. Lionheart himself, as this is one of the most detailed manuals I've actually come across in the sim. It's very user-friendly, it's really nice to actually read through, and it includes all sorts of fun details, history on Mr. Wittman himself, history on the aircraft. There's even a guide to making s'mores. Yeah, this is a very detailed manual. It takes you through all the nice little tiny features, cool features. You can tell this is a project of love. Now, I purchased this myself from Sim Market as €20, and 2 versions of the aircraft. You get 13 liveries on W8, 16 on the W10, and as I'll show you now, multiple different cockpit repaints in different variants here from these versions, so you do get to see quite a lot for what you pay. There's a parking mode, which we'll take a look at now. In fact, I'll put these on for you. They're in different places in the W8 and 10. This is chocks, etc. And camping mode has tents. So let's take a look outside, shall we? Now, there is a fire down there. You won't be able to see it because of the grass, but that glows at night. Let's actually just quickly cycle to nighttime to show you that. Well, I thought it did. Maybe the engine has to be on for it to glow. That could actually be a thing. I don't know. So it's a very ugly looking aeroplane. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of the shape. I love that little lantern there. Just hooked onto the wing strut. Nice little feature. I hate the aircraft. It's ugly as hell. Some people think it's beautiful. To me, it's a cheese wedge that flies. I'm not a fan. But I can say it's quite detailed. Tiny little wings here, so she'll store quite fast. The whole thing is covered in fabric, of course. This is the old Yeller paint scheme. Had to fly old Yeller. Customizable numbers. Gear there in the wheel pants. Can I see inside there? No, I can't. So, that is our Tailwind here on the exterior. Now, as yes, the fuel filler cap is right there in front of you. The wing tanks are aux tanks, they're quite small. So, let's get back inside the cockpit here. Now, doors, pretty simple. It does feel like flying a coffin inside here with the wood panelling. Now, W10 has very modern ATV style seats. The W8 has Lamborghini Countach style seats, which are quite nice. So, rather joyous little feature there. So we'll turn off parking and camping modes there. Breakers don't work. Yeah. Like I said, it uses a default Asobo sound pack for this one and the high performance sound pack from Asobo for the 10. He freely admits they're both Asobo sound packs, and that's okay. They're not awful, but it's not particularly right home about either. Is what it is. Checklists are a cool feature here, by the way, because it includes things you wouldn't necessarily find. You've actually got deployment to the tent, camping and parking mode, deployed sensor chair switch, yes, done. Verify they're out, they are indeed out. Ah, master battery on. Where's the lantern switch? Is it actually on the lanterns, maybe? I don't know. Is there a lantern switch on the panel? That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? There's actually a lantern switch. Oh my god, there is. That is kind of cool. We're going to go outside really quick and take a look at this. The battery, I'm assuming... Yep, concerns the glow for the fire. And we have the lanterns here on the wings. That is actually kind of neat. I'll give them credit. It's kind of cool. Not bad. So, of course, we have the camping tent stuff, which I best actually stop right now. And I want this to reset for me. There we go. So, pilot floodlight. Interesting, that won't actually come off. So, what do we got here? Exterior cockpit familiarization first. These are a fun one. So we can see our camp switches it tells you about. It tells you where the autopilot active light is, even if you are using the invisible one. Even shows you the cooling fan there, because it's a neat little 3D feature. Takes you to all these cool little details for the actual aircraft here, including things like the fuel line there. Exterior walk around shows us all these various features. In many cases you can't actually do anything with it other than look at it, but you could do a virtual walk around by going to these places and checking things. Cool to include. Right, let's get on to our pre-flight checklist here. So check covers and preters are removed. That is done. They are removed. So now park mode verified, camping equipment verified. They're done, flaps are set up, fuel tank set to center, so that would be up to top. Parking brake is on. There is the parking brake. There. Now, the brake is not animated by the way on the pedals. He does note that as a bug. You don't need to check the weight load out. Control surfaces are free and correct. Now, you notice how it's got very much like a Robin DR400 style control yoke or stick. Also like the Robinson, I should say, helicopters too. So those are removed, those are closed. So before starting engine, we'll go to master battery on. Over there. We'll go to elevator trim is neutral. It is. Fuel pump to on. That is... It does not show me where the fuel pump is. Oh, it does. I just hovered over it. Pump is on. Navigation light switches are on. Beacon light switches are on. Fuel start to center. Engine start to start. So, mags. Helps if the mixture's in, doesn't it? Okay, we got that very Cessna-y sound. So, all nice and good there. Assuming we don't see fuel glugging down the pipes, that'd be kind of neat, wouldn't it? Rather than just a tube. So we'll take the W8 for a spin, and we'll get everything else turned on in the aircraft here, and we'll take a look at how she is. Now, I find that cover annoying, but you can click it off and it's gone. Nice and convenient there. Let's get ourselves moving out here. I'm going to do this kind of quickly because I do want us to get us into the W10 as well, and take her for a spin around. This one does feel very like much like I'm in a coffin with all the wood everywhere here, so nice to have some other options. Nose visibility isn't phenomenal, but it's not bad either. It's got a short nose, despite all these factors. Now, I will say, by the way, I paid for this out of my own money, as I mentioned. Not given anything by Lionheart. That's a taxiway sign. Shall we steer out the way of that? Oh, God. Yeah, those short wings are biting me there. Let's build some speed here before I die. Please, no drop a wing. Please, please, please accelerate. I definitely pulled back way too soon here. This is my fault. It's all my fault. Yeah, about fault. That was on mine. Let's do that again, shall we? We'll let it beat some speed first. And give it a notch of flaps. We'll let the tail sit there. I'm well aware I've got those power lines to get past, so we'll let this build up. It's not a very quick accelerator. I think I tried to pull back too soon. That's more like it. Now she rises up nice and quickly. Clear of the power lines. Keine problem. And we're around. So very, very, very snappy roll, I've got to say. Wow, that's quite snappy. Ooh. I mean, with wings this short, you'd expect it to be fairly snappy. Look at this thing. Ooh. Wow. Swishy, too. Ooh. That's odd. I like it. Visibility is not the best. I would not tour, perhaps, in this aircraft. Maybe not. At least not me. Make sure that's turned on. It isn't an awful airplane. It's definitely Marmite, I would say. I don't personally like the look of it, but it isn't bad. Compass does appear to be working correctly, at least as far as I can tell. Although I will say the turn bank indicator looks like it's very, very sensitive. Or the artificial horizon, sorry. Not turn bank. Artificial horizon, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm that far over on the roll, but it's... Maybe I am. Maybe more than I thought. There's the Spielhaus down below. Or Festspielhaus, I think it is. I didn't look last time I looked at the label. Festival Hall, whatever it is. Festspielhaus? Yeah. Let's bring it round here. We'll circle into the pattern. Okie dokie dokie. How's she going to do this? We have to be careful about lower speeds. She's quite stally, apparently. Does mush, but can drop a wing, and with these tiny wings, that will be quite easy to do. I think I have to keep quite a bit of power on with this thing to keep that speed up. Okay, looking okay. Not bad. There's the field. We're downwind. Reach the road there. We'll turn. Yeah, side visibility isn't stunning. That very thick post is definitely in the eye line for the pattern. Right. Keep my power on here with the turn. I don't want to lose too much airspeed. She does burn airspeed very quickly. Okay, dropping in. We'll let this thing round out as we lose some airspeed here. Let's bring it down at a settle. There we go. Little bouncy, little potentially fast. We'll see what it's like in the W10. Also, you don't know how much I'm resisting the urge to say the V10 at the moment. Okay, that is the W8. Let's take a look at the 10. So we're here with the W10. Parking modes on there. Otherwise, largely very similar, apart from some of the design and appearance aspects. Let's go internal here. Now, obviously, this is actually hard cabin above here rather than open like the other version. This is flap linkage there, by the way. So if I was to go... Yeah, you'll see that operating on the side there. Quite nice. So our parking mode is over here on this one. So that will be that turned off there. Perfect. Now our electronics are all on here. I shouldn't have these on. We'll start cold and dark. So battery will go on. We'll make sure our mixture's on this time. Make sure this is just cracked. Make sure our fuel pump is on. Make sure we are on center tank. We shall crank it. Excellent. So alternators and avionics on. Parking brakes already set. So this one, door, still very much door. No real drama there. Fuel pump off, and we of course have our G3X. Of course, there's a bit of data when we get that new version of that, so that'll be useful, won't it? Now, apparently this is a bug where it just says the engine is high temperature, and it actually isn't, so you just cycle through it once and it goes away. Apparently a reported bug, so there is that. Now, we do actually have an autopilot function in here for this version, so that's always useful. So all those will work as intended. Enough faffing. Let's get ourselves going, shall we? Let's see what the 260 horsepower engine will do in this variant. A very whistly, twiddly engine in this one. I don't know what this has come from in terms of Asobo sound packs. Possibly the VL3? I don't recall. Maybe the Bonanza. 260 horsepower IO 540. Possibly is the Bonanza. I wouldn't put money on that though. But I don't recall hearing one that sounded quite so whistly as this one does. Could be my imagination. Right. Now we have a lot more power for this takeoff, so we should be very good here. I do like the weathering and wear and tear in this aircraft. It's been very nicely done. The materials look very good, apart from this glare shield on this one, which looks a little bit too shiny and too plasticky. Although it's plasticky for carbon fibre, but it's not got the relief. It looks too smooth. Because carbon fibre like this isn't necessarily super smooth on the surface. It's got a little roughness to it. Much, much grunt in this engine. So let's pull that power. I need to go see the name on this building if I can get close enough in time. Because I know it's written on the front. Da! Oh well. Pretty sure it's the Fashspiel house. I could be wrong. Who really cares? I look at it every time I come down to Fusen, so there is that. I love this glider field for testing smaller and GA aircraft and aircraft that would operate from grass like World War II fighters, because it's got a good flat area around the airfield, we've got the lake here, some mountains nearby, makes things quite interesting. So a lot more performance than the W10. Wonder what the roll rate's like, just as snappy. Whew. Let's see how she stalls. That was talked about, wasn't it? So we'll pull the power here. We'll hold the nose. It's just mushing here. Let's give it a little rudder to get it to bite. Okay, yep. I want to see if it would drop a wing. It did. I wanted that to bite on me, and it did, just about. And where's our field? There it is. So we're kind of on a dogleg downwind here. We'll join the base. And we'll turn in, so let's bring that speed back down. This accelerates very quickly, this variant. So that's to be something to be aware of. Notch 1. We'll leave notch 1 for the time being, as we'll hold the speed around 70 for now. Similar visibility compared to the other model, but again, it's still Not wonderful. This feels less coffiny though without it being all wood. Okay, round we come. Okay, second notch flaps. There's our base turn. Little power here. We are starting to get too slow. Let the nose drop to actually give me some airspeed here rather than have to worry about power. It gets very brick shaped the second those flaps are down. Second stage flaps really is the putting the air brakes out. Little power here whilst we round out, because we're diving pretty steeply and just about maintaining that 63 knots there. If I glue the power off here, bring the nose up gently, and we'll let the speed bleed and hold that nose. A little bit of a touch. There we go, we're down. Nice and solid. Flaps up. And we're on the ground. So I hate the aircraft. I really do. I think it's ugly. I think it's like a cheese wedge with wings that were an afterthought. It looks like something designed in a version of No Man's Sky if they thought about an aeroplane. But I can't deny it's been done very well. There's little TLC touches in here that have been really thought out, considerately made. The sounds are stock, yes, but you're getting 2 aircraft for $20, so it could be a not too bad actually sort of argument. We have modern, we have historic style and older instruments, so cockpits to suit any type of operator. Different colours, different instruments, loads of liveries and interior schemes. The manual and features included with it are really nice and playable. I think it's absolutely worth the money. I probably won't ever fly it again just because I don't like the Tailwind. But it's a really nicely done Tailwind. And if I did like them, I'd absolutely fly this. So, there you go. Thanks for watching. Bye!